Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. It's
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so just to give just 2 minutes, I will explain about the SQL and all because somebody newly joined today. So SQL is a programming language which is used to interact with the relational database management system. So there are multiple databases available in the market. For all the databases, SQL is the primarily used language. So by using SQL only, they can interact with the database. So the interaction in the sense with respect to reading the data from the database or writing data into the database or any modifying the data into the database or delete the data into the database. So by using this SQL, we can interact with the database with respect to this all the transactions, I mean actions. Okay, SQL we can call it as a SQL as well. So there are major RDBMS, like Oracle, MySQL, MS SQL, PostgreSQL, and so on. Multiple is there. DB2, because these all are the one product. Introduce the one company, one company. So we can analyze the data by using this SQL. We can fetch the data from the database. We can analyze. Even we can build the reports as well. How the data stored in the database? In the form of tables. So table can have multiple columns and rows. So collection of columns and rows is called as a table, right? So data, what is data? It's collection of events needs to be stored for future reference is called as a data, or else collection of raw facts, or else anything which is understandable by the system is called as a data. So the events is nothing but add, modify, remove. So any transaction which you are performing, for example, you are doing one action with the database with respect to reading the data or writing the data or fetching the data or removing the data or updating the data. Any transaction which you are performing, any action, it will be a one event. Okay, there are two types of objects in our database. One is user object, one is the system object. User object is nothing but created by the user and manipulated by the user and contains the user data. System object is nothing but it's created by the system, not user. Who is the user? Whoever is having the access to the database. Those all are the users for the database. For example, if you take with respect to the SBI project or phone pay, who and all having their customers, those all are the users for that product. The same way, database is one product. Who and all having access to the database, those all are the users for the respect to the database. Okay, so you know some of two structures. One is logical structure, another one is the physical structure. So we have discussed what is the logical structure contain. One is data table spaces, another one is a data dictionary. There are two parts. The same way physical structure is having the tables and indexes. So table is a physical structure. It will stored in the database. So what is collection of rows and columns? Table is a database object which is used to store the data permanently for their future reference. How we can store the data, like with respect to your personal files or anything which is stored your laptop or somewhere else, hard disk. The laptop is having a hard disk, that is called one database. The same way we used to store our data for our future reference. With respect to the banking sector, they can store their customer details for future reference, because in future, once you open account, after some days you will go and you will try to withdraw money, you will try to deposit money. By that time they have to identify whether you are their customer as well. How they will identify? They will enter your account number, then they will check even the sign you used that account opening, the when you are trying to withdraw money, whatever sign you kept, you have done in that slip, both has to be matched. Like that they will use, right? The same way, the same way, those all the things can be captured using the table only, because table is because database store the data in the form of table only. So if you have any doubts, like high level, I just explained these things already we discussed. You can go through the yesterday and day before yesterday's, so that if you have any doubts, you can reach me on offline. Okay. First, right, data is storing in the database. So first of all, data has to be stored to manipulate in the future. If you want any in future, if you want to perform any, if you want to retrieve the data or anything, how we can store? There are some set of syntaxes. Syntaxes is nothing but a rules. How the rules implemented by any other organizations, like banking, what is the rule? From 10 to 5 till 4 they will allow, after that they won't allow. Colleges, they will put some uniforms. Any other organization, they will put some set of restrictions. The same way, based on the functionality of the database, they have developed some of the rules by using the syntaxes. So we must and should follow this same syntax to perform any action with the database. Any action with the database. So to create a table, this is the syntax. Create is a key, create is a command. By using create command, we can create any database object. By using create command, we can create any database object. Database object is nothing but a table or sequence, synonym. So if you call it as a entity, if you are call it as a object, if you are call it as a table, all are same. If you call it as a attribute, if you are call it as a column, both are same. If you call it as a row, tuple, record, all are same. That is the terminology wise in real time. So while you create a table, if you want, create, this is the statement. You must and should remember this. Create table name. Then open parenthesis. This is called open parenthesis. Column 1 data type size. Column 2 data type size. And so on, multiple columns you can create based on your requirement, and you can close the parameter which you opened here. Then this is called semicolon, right? In real time, we can call it as a delimiter. In terminology wise, we can call it as a delimiter. Okay. So create table name, open parenthesis, column 1 data type size. The size is indicate that how much data has to be stored in the column. This data type is allowing the data. What type of data has to be stored in this column? With respect to numeric, the column will accept only numeric. With respect to character, it will accept the character and both numerics as well. With respect to date, if you declare, the column will accept only date. We can see the same. So now this is the student table. Create table name. So yesterday we have discussed this all the things. So now ultimately, if you want to create a table, you need a table name, you need a column name, and you need a data type. You need a data type. These 3 parameters you require to create a table. You require to create a table, as well as you should have a privileges to the database to access. How you will get the privilege? There is a DBA guy, database administrator in real time, who provides access you to the access to the database. So you no need to worry about that. Once you enter the organization, they will provide one schema for you. Schema is nothing but your user schema, separate schema. We will discuss about that also. So anything anything which is related to the any data which is related to the resides to one user. Whatever data is related to you, if you are having a access to the database, that is called your schema. The same way for others. How we are having access to the PhonePe, multiple users, multiple customers, the same way database can have multiple users, multiple schemas. Okay. So table name, column name, data type you required. So before going to the table name, you must need to know some of the points which needs to be remembered with respect to the table name. So no need to provide the memory for a table explicitly. So this is called size. So column name, data type, size. Are we providing any size to the table here? This is called table name, right? Are we providing any size to the database here? No, because we no need to provide the memory explicitly to the database. For example, create. So if you are creating a table, you need to remember this one. Create table name. I am taking as a student. Next, what you need to follow? What you need to follow, guys? Wait, I will start one spool file I will create so that I can share with you whatever we discussed in the class. While you practice, that will be easy for you to take and practice. Just to take. Oh, okay. 1 second. The session was started yesterday. That's the reason it is not taking. That should not have any spaces. That's the reason it is not taking. Directory should not have any space. Now it started to create. Okay. Okay. So create is a command. Next keyword is a table. We are creating a table. We are creating a sequence. We have to put sequence. So those all are the next topics we can discuss. Student. So we have to we have to open the parenthesis. Next column name. How I can identify the student uniquely? One name of the student can have multiple students as well. There is no rule, right? So we have to identify the any student using student ID. So ID in the sense, it is a numeric data or it is a string data, number data, right? Numeric data. Numeric data in the sense we have to declare the number date type. We can declare in the, we can decide, we can discuss in the like data types. Next is student name or char2. So everything we can discuss in next session, like next data types. So just a table is created. For column, we have declared the size for that column. This is the size, 10 bytes. 10 bytes. Did we provide any size for the table? Here, how we are providing the size for the column? Did we provide any size for this table? No, right? So that is what I mean to say here. That is what I mean to say. You no need to provide the memory for a table explicitly. Here we are providing the size for the column explicitly. For table, you no need to provide. Next, table must start with a character. A character. Character or string, both are same. That will start from A. I mean A to Z alphabetical orders. A to Z. So it table name must be start with the character only. So that means it should not start with the like number or some other thing. It should start with the any alphabetical. So now I just give 100 student table name. See, first I am giving the numeric data. Let us try to create a table again. Another table, SL number data type. Just I am taking one column. See, what is the error? Invalid table name. So in our database, wherever you return error, it will show with the star indication. See here, it is showing star here. That means here it is having error. So what is the error? Invalid table name. So the table name should not start with the numeric. It must start with the alphabetical letter only. Either a small letter, either a capital letter, that doesn't matter. Okay. So now here we have used the two columns. Here we have used the only one column. So every table must have one column. At least one column we have to declare for the table. For example, we are creating a table and we are not providing any column for the table. So I'm just creating the table. See, missing left parenthesis is showing. This is the left parenthesis. This is the right parenthesis. So it is raising error because we haven't declared any single column. That's the reason it is expecting the left parenthesis, because after table name we have to declare the left parenthesis, then we have to declare the column names. So one table must have one column. So at least one column should be there. We should declare. So number of columns we declare. So minimum one column required. Maximum one table can have maximum 1000 columns. 1000 columns we can declare. With respect to other databases like MS SQL, it is 1024. 1024 columns we can declare for one table. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that, maximum 1000 columns we can declare for the Oracle database. Minimum one column required. So table name cannot start with the number or special characters. Number we have already seen. Right? Special character in the sense either update or hash or and or star. These all are special characters. See, now I'm using the special character. If you observe, see, again, invalid table name. So table name should not start with the special character. So there is no other option to create a table name except alphabetical number. We mustn't use the alphabetical number only. So we should not use the special character or numbers. So table name cannot be a Oracle keyword. There are some keywords we will see in future, like here, table is a keyword here. So you should not use same name again. See, table, I am taking table name also table. I am taking table name also table. See, invalid table name. Because table is a Oracle keyword. You should not use the Oracle keywords or any other database keywords for the table name to create a table name. Next, table name is not case sensitive. By default, name will store in uppercase only. Name store. For example, if you are giving a table name in a smaller case, TUD, you are creating, you are declaring some one column and you are creating a table. Already is there. So we are creating a table. See, here we have given a table is smaller letters, but that doesn't matter how you are giving. How you are giving, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. But by default, database will store into the capital letters only. If you see, I will show you now how data is storing into the database. You can watch. These are all the things I will discuss with you. Please, you no need to worry. See, STU, what we have given while created, table name is STU underscore D. If you see, we have given smaller letters. But see, these all are available tables, available objects in the database. So every object will store in the capital letter only. So it is not a case sensitive. It is not a case sensitive. By default, it will store in the uppercase only. Next, valid table and invalid tables. We can declare tables like this, EMP underscore DET. But we should not declare like this. Yes. When you declare like this, server will treat it as the database server will treat it as EMP is one word and DET is one word. So that's the reason you can declare by using underscore, but you cannot allow to declare by hyphen. So table name must be start with the character only. So that's the reason you can declare like this. Mix with the characters and numeric, but it starts with the character only. I mean alphabetical letter only. But you should not declare like this. This is the invalid table. So you can use special characters. You should not use in front of starting letter of the table name, right? But we can use like this. So ultimately, the starting letter of a table name must be alphabetical letter. So after that, you can use anything. That doesn't matter. Either a numeric or either a special character. Okay. Next. So you know, right, like with respect to the table name, how you have to declare the table name. Next to column name. With respect to column name is a unique in a table. Column name is a unique in a table. So which you are creating a table, for example, you are creating one table. You are creating STU1. You are creating. So SL number you have given and you have taken as a number data. Same S name you have given, some other data type you are declaring. So again, you should not use same column name. You should not use same column name. Here, one say already you have declared SL number. Again, same column name you should not declare. See, duplicate column name. So column name is a unique to in a table. Unique to in the sense it's a one. It should not be a same repeat again. No duplication. Your duplication, right? Same name is same column name. So you can use column name as a table can have a one column on one unique column. I means you should not declare the same column name again. If you declare, it will raise error. Duplicate column name. So column name is a unique in a table. Next, column name must be start with the same. Again, it must be start with the alphabetical letter only. It should not start with the any special character, any numeric data. Okay. So column name must be start with the alphabetical. Table name, column name, or any object in the Oracle database or any database. Those must be start with the alphabetical letter. Either a index, either a view, either a sequence, or there is a synonym, either a table. These all are one topics we can discuss in further sessions. Any object, those all called by objects, any object must be start with the alphabetical letter. Next, column name cannot be a Oracle keyword. The same way, table is a keyword, right? You should not use same keyword in the column name. You should not use same keyword as a table name as well. Next, so now you know, right? With respect to the table name, you need three parameters. One is table name, column name, and data type. So here table name we have discussed and column name we have discussed. Next, what is pending? Data type we have to discuss. Data type. So for database, there are two types of data types. One is built-in data types. Another one is the user-defined data types. So what does it mean by user-defined, guys? By seeing this statement, what we can understand, user-defined data types means user object means which created by the user. See, now I have created this stu1. This is my object. Did I created this user underscore table name tables? No, I did not created that one. But still table is having the data. This is the default tables that is called system object data dictionaries. So user defined data types means we can create our own data type. By default, they have provided some of the data types, but even we can define our own data types. So we can discuss this one in the object oriented session. It is like in PLSQL, I will let you know how we have to create our own user defined data type. So in SQL, we will discuss about the built-in data types. So what are built-in data types? There are multiple built-in data types, which is providing the, which is by default, which is providing the whatever the product which you install, either with respect to the Oracle data type, with respect to the MySQL, with respect to the DB2, any database. So these all are the data types. Any data types, any database, these all are the data types. Built-in data types, character data types, number data types, datetime data types, large object data types, row ID data types, long and raw data types. So these all are the 6 data types are available by default. We will discuss one by one. But in real time, mostly we use these 3 only. Mostly we use these 3 data types only. Rare cases we can use this large and long row ID, this long and raw data types. Where we can use, for example, if you are applying some staff selection commission, or if you are applying for banking exam, if you are applying from civils exam, any exam, any like competitive exam, we have to fill our form in online. We have to upload our image. We have to upload our sign as well. Am I right, guys?
Yes.
Yes, uncle.
So how that is going to store in your database? How that is going to store your database? You are entering in a UI part. For every field they will give, enter here one field, here one field. Those all can be developed by using the PLSQL concepts, procedures, and all everything. So how it is going to store the image of the who are applicant for that application, image and signature also stored. Those will be stored by using this long and raw data types. Images and all, we can discuss, that is one concept in the procedures PLSQL. Large objects is nothing but large volume of the data. We will discuss those things. So we never use, right, like in our real time, we use like any this competitive field exams or any banking sector. One time only we save their photo, their signature when they open the account, right? Every time we never store. So that is the reason limited to use this database, limited to use this data types. Frequently we never use. Whatever one time we develop that code, every day we never develop that code, right? So that's the reason we limited to use that one. But we use more these three data types only: character, number, date time, date type. We will see one by one. We will see one by one. So what is character data types? Character as string. It is a like it is a alphabetical word, alphabetical letter. So character as string data type is same. If you want to store name, if you want to store address, if you want to store like last name, first name, if you want to store some area name, if you want to store any location details, if you want to store any department details, those all will be a new like character data, right? It's a alphabetical letter words, right? So those things we use to store those type of data. We use character data type only. So there are multiple character data types is available. Multiple character data types is available. Char and varchar too we use. More we use char and varchar too. So char data type, like this we have to declare. Char, where we have to declare, for example, you are using the first name. So here varchar too we have used. Here we can declare char and size of the data type. Here we have to declare char data type and the size of the database. So whenever we see any database, this bracket, this is not mandatory. This is not mandatory. Whenever we see this bracket in any database, this is mandatory. So that means character data type size is not mandatory, because that's the reason I mentioned this bracket. That's the reason I mentioned this bracket. Okay, this bracket indicates the not mandatory. This bracket indicates the mandatory. So character data type size is not mandatory. If it is not mandatory means by default that has to take one value, right, for the data type size. So default size for that, if you are not declare for the size for any column by using this character data type, so by default it will take 1 byte. What is byte? Here this is called 1 byte, 1 letter. This is called 1 byte. So total this is 1, 2, 3, 5 bytes. 5 bytes data, this one. If you want to store this Venky name, the column you have to declare more than 5 bytes. Here size is more than 5 bytes. Then only the column will allow you to insert this 5 bytes data. If you declare 4 bytes data, it doesn't allow this 5 bytes data. Because here you have declared only 4 bytes means the column will allow only below 4 bytes data only. When you try to insert 5 bytes data, it will raise error because size is not enough. Size is not enough. So by default size is 1 byte for the character data type. So maximum size you can declare maximum size is you can declare maximum size is you can declare 2000 bytes. The maximum size of the database is 2000 bytes. 2000 bytes. So why we use character data, guys? Character data is store the string or character data. String or character data. Size is not mandatory because by default they have developed like this. Data type is size is not mandatory. If you ignore the size, by default it will take as 1 byte. By default 1 byte. Maximum size you can allow to put the 2000 bytes. It is very important. What is difference between char and varchar2? That is the interview question. What is the difference between char and varchar2? So it is a fixed length data type. So every interviewer will expect the answer from you this one. It is fixed length data type. So character is easy to store the string or character data. Size is not mandatory. So it is a fixed length data type. So maximum size is 2000 bytes. Default size is 1 byte. You have to remember this point. Now we will see that one practically. We will see. So create table or else drop table. This one you no need to worry. We will discuss about the drop command as well. So I'm creating a table. Create is a command which is used to create any data object. Create table. Table name is student. Okay. Student ID or else student name. Name is which data type, guys? What is the name of the data? Is it a string data or character data, or is it a numeric or date data? Name.
Character data.
Sorry? It's a string data, right? So, string or character data both are same. So you have to use the char data type. Based on the data which you are going to insert into this table, I mean this column, you have to declare the data type for that column. So the functionality of this column is name. Name means it will be a string or character data. So you mustn't use the any character data type, either a char or either a varchar, either a varchar2. So we are using the char. So I am declaring some 4 bytes, or else some 5 bytes. I'm declaring 5 bytes, but size is not mandatory. You just see. Sorry. So size we have to declare within the parentheses. So why it is raising error? We have opened the parentheses here. Here we have opened. We have closed. So here this one is closed. This one is not closed. See. So we have to close one more one. Then delimiter. Enter. So table is created. If you want to describe any table, describe the table. If you want to describe the table, you have to use this one. DESC. Describe in the sense we can see the what is the table architecture, what is table structure. So for example, I just give student we have created. By using DESC command, we can describe the table structure. We can describe. That means if you want to see the table structure, you have to use the DESC command. So DESC is student. See what is the table structure? This is the column name of the table name. This is the type of the table name. So here see, student name is the S name is the column name. What is the data type for that? Character. What is the, I have declared 50. What is the size for this? 50. So I don't need 50. So I am, because I wanted to show you practically. How it doesn't allow, what and all it will allow. Will show you. So let's see. Create table name. I am taking as 5 bytes. So now I will describe the table. You see. Describe the table. If you see the table structure, table is having one column, that is student name, and the data type for that column is char, and the size is 5 bytes. Now you no need to worry what is this insert statement. You just to see. We will discuss those things. In insert, update, delete, I will take one separate session. Okay. Just to see, I will show you why it doesn't allow everything. Insert into table name, table value, insert into student values. The syntax, everything we can discuss in the DML concept. Okay. I am inserting. So any character data, string data, which you are inserting into the database, you mustn't use in the within single quotes. You mustn't use the within single quote. Then only database server understand that is a string data. When you are using any data within a single quotes, then only the database server will understand that it is a string data. So you must use the within single quote only. If you are not using single quote, see what will happen. Even though character data, string data, it is not allowing. Column not allowed here. This column is not allowing this data. This column, what is that? It has to be stored only string data or character data. Even we are giving string data, it is not allowing because we haven't given the single quote. When you use the within single quote, then only database server understand it's a character data. Then it will allow you to insert this data. See, one row created. Again, VTS. One more row created. VTS 100. Does it accept or not? It's a character and string data, right? Does it accept or not?
Accepts.
It will
It
accept.
accepts.
Why it is not accepting? Value too large than column. This is schema name, Venky. Schema, I mean my username, then table name, then column name. Actually 6, maximum is 5. What do you understand about this? So we declare the size for this column. How many bytes, guys? 5. How many bytes we are trying to insert? 6 bytes. That's the reason here 5 bytes only we declare. So we can allow you to insert the data either 5 bytes or below 5 bytes the data. We are not allowed to insert the more than 5 bytes the data. That's the reason it is raising the error. So now Now I just to give VTS1. I just to give only VT. I just to give only V. So we have inserted the sum of the rows. To read the data or to fetch the data from the database, we have to use the select command. Select for any table. If you are retrieving the data, select star from table name student. Star indicates all columns of the data it has to come. From where it has to get the data? From student table. So now if you see, this is the data which you are inserting. This is how many bytes, guys?
5.
This one,
5 bytes.
this is
3.
3 bytes. This is 4 bytes. This is 2 bytes. This is 1 byte. So now
1 byte.
I want to check the length of that column name. What is that length of the for every row? How many bytes it is having? So the length is a function which is used to check the length of the data. We can discuss this one in the character functions we have. In the functions we can discuss, just to see. It will fetch the data. It will return the data length of that row. If you see here, 4 by 5 bytes, okay, 5. First row. This is first row, second row. Second row is 3 bytes, but still it is returning 5. Third row is 4 byte, but still it is returning 5. Last row is 1 byte, still it is returning 5 bytes.
Because it is text line.
So the character data type is the pixel length data type. That doesn't matter how many bytes you will give it to the database. You are inserting into the database. It always takes the maximum size for that which you are declared. Maximum size we have declared 5 bytes. So maximum size of the column which you are declared, that will take by default. That will take by default. So even if you are inserting 1 byte, remaining 4 bytes also it will take. What is inserting remaining 4 bytes here? Here we have given only 1 byte. Remaining 4 bytes, what is it is returning?
Null value.
Sorry?
Null.
No. So when you declare the character data type, I mean when you declare the char data type, so that the char data type, when you declare the char data type, so you need to remember that it is a fixed length data type. Whatever the maximum size you give, by default for every row it will take maximum size only. If you are giving maximum size, for example 5 bytes, happily it will insert all the data. If you give 3 bytes, remaining 2 bytes, this is what interviewer will explain. You have to explain him like this. The remaining 2 bytes, it will apply the blank pads. Pad in the sense applying, adding to the someone, which is VTS is already having. So remaining 2 bytes, it will apply the blank pads. So blank it will apply remaining 2 bytes. Pads in the sense merging two things. One is whatever you have given and blank which you are giving. So you need to tell the interviewer, if they ask, remaining 2 bytes, it will apply the blank pads. Here 4 blank pads it will apply. 4 bytes, total 5, right? 1 byte you are giving, remaining 4 bytes it will apply the blank pads. Here remaining 3 bytes it will apply the blank pads. Remaining 1 byte it will apply the blank pads. Remaining 2 bytes it will apply the blank pads. That's the reason it is returning 5 bytes, 5 bytes, 5 bytes for every row. 5 bytes, 5 bytes for every row. Clear? Why it will apply the blank pads? It is a pixel length data type. The length which you are giving while declare, it will take automatically how much you have given. Total remaining bytes, it will give blank pads and it will take it. Clear, guys? Next, varchar data type. Even if you declare the varchar data type, these all are the character data types, guys. Char, varchar, character2, CLab. This one we can discuss in the large objects. Okay. So char is a char we have discussed. Varchar data type. So even if you declare varchar data type, it will convert it to varchar2 data type. By default, this varchar, it will convert it to varchar2. It will convert it to varchar2. Varchar2. So I said char we can declare maximum 2000 bytes. Maximum 2000 bytes. So let me create one table. I wanted to show you that one as well. So create student stud. Then I am giving sname. Sname is a char data type. 2001 byte I am taking. Does it take? Why it is the error?
Maximum size is 2000 bytes.
So maximum size we can declare 2000 bytes only. Maximum size you can declare 2000 bytes. But now your requirement is for example, your requirement is the data which you are going to insert. It is a more than 2000 bytes. Then what you have to do? That's the reason Oracle has introduced varchar2 data type. So varchar2 data type, it will take maximum 4000 bytes. We never use char data type frequently. We use only one. We use only one situation. I will tell now. So stud table I am creating. So I am taking the char. So I am not giving any size for this. Any already table is there. Two. Any size I haven't given size for this char data type. By default, why it is created table? It should raise the error, right? If you are not giving the size for this, why it has created? Why it is not raised the error? So I have explained that one already. Size is not mandatory. By default, it will take 1 byte. See, we haven't given any size, right? So you want to check how much it has taken by default. What you need to do? You need to see the table structure. See, size is 1 byte. We haven't given size is 1 byte. By default, it will take 1 byte size. So now I will tell you, in real time, we never use this char for any name store, any more than 1 byte data. Why? Because it will. Why? Because, for example, you have declared as some 200 bytes, but you are inserting into the database for only 5 bytes. Remaining 195 bytes, it will apply the blank pads. So their database space is wasting. That's the reason we never use the char. Where we will use char data type? Any idea? Do you have any fixed data? Any fixed data which you are inserting into the database? For example,
gender.
Other number.
Gender, very good. See, for example, if you are applying any job, they will give one drop down. If you are male, you have to select M. If you are female, you have to select F. So for that column, always how many people will apply for that job in the whole world? Always they have to select only F or M. There is no other option. So they can able to insert only 1 byte data, right? They doesn't have option to insert more than that, because we kept the drop down. They have to select either F or M. So by that situation, we will declare this char data type. In name or address, any other string data related to that we never use, because database space will get waste, because of it is a fixed length data type. Even if you give 5 bytes, if you declare 20 bytes, remaining 15 bytes, it will apply the blank pads. When it is applied the blank pads, database space is wasting. Database, for example, they have given 1 TB data. In real time, any organization, how much data space they are occupying, for that they have to provide the amount for that product who has developed that. They have some agreements yearly. They have to provide the amount. We use trial versions. In real time, they should not use trial versions. They should use only licensed version. For that, they have to bear some cost. That's the reason the developer should not waste the database space. Okay. So now, if you want to insert the data more than 2000 bytes, and to overcome the data space issue, waste space issue, varchar2 data type is the introduced. How we can declare varchar2 data type? Column and data type and size. Even you declare the varchar, it will convert it into the varchar2 data type only. For example, I am creating one table. So now I have given S name is varchar data type. You no need to provide space for this also. Sorry, you need to give this one. So this one character you no need to give. For example, 10 bytes I have given. Table is created. Which data type we have used, guys? Varchar data type. Varchar. So even you have given varchar, if you observe, see, we have declared the varchar data type. By default, what it has taken? Varchar2. So varchar data type automatically will converted into the varchar2 data type. Even you declare in real time, by default it will converted into the varchar2 data type. Now we can discuss varchar2 data type. Varchar2 data type, we have to declare like this. It stores the variable string or character data. For example, you declare 20 bytes, but you inserted only 5 bytes. It will take only 5 bytes only. Remaining 15 bytes, it won't apply the blank pads. What it will do remaining 15 bytes if it is not applying the blank pads? Any idea? Whenever you create one table, you no need to provide the memory size for the table, right? So if you are not providing, means by default database will allocate some memory for that. So the remaining 15 bytes, what it will do? It will send back to the database. Remaining 15 bytes, it doesn't waste the space. So here I found the space. So the space I am sending to you. Like that, it will send back to the data. It will send back to the remaining bytes to the database. That's the reason we use always varchar2 to insert the string data or character data, except the gender column. Okay, I will show you that is practically. Here size is mandatory. You must and should have to declare the size. It is dynamic data type. Why we are telling it is a dynamic data type? How much bytes you are inserting the data, that many bytes only it will take dynamically. Remaining bytes it will send back into the database. It is not wasting. So that is the variable length string data. Based on the variable you are inserting, Venky is the 5 bytes variable you are inserting. That much length only it will take it. That's the reason dynamically it will take, right? For one row you insert 10 bytes, one row 5 bytes, one row 4 bytes. So dynamically it has to take for based on row by row. That's the reason it is a dynamic data type. Maximum size is 4000 bytes. So let us see student 4. So name is varchar 2. 10 bytes I have taken. So let us insert the data. Let us insert. See, Venky, one row inserted. Next, VTS inserted. Next. Now, whether 6 bytes we are inserting, whether alphanumeric data can we insert into the varchar2 data type. So varchar or char data type, it allow to insert the only string or character data, right? Can we insert the mix of alphanumeric data into the character
Yes.
data? We can insert it. Oh, table name we have taken wrong, right? Once again, here stud inserted, VTS inserted. Why it will allowing to the insert? So that doesn't matter whether the insertion data is having the numeric or character. Whenever you use the single quote, by default, whatever you are giving here, the server will treat it as a string data only. String data only. So always string data or character data, you must use the within single quote. Whenever you use single quote, then it will understand that it is a character data or string data. Here, now insert the data again. STUD VT. Okay. Now select star from table name STUD. If you see here, we are inserted. First row is 5 bytes. Next, second row is 3 bytes. Fourth row is 6 bytes. Last row is 2 bytes. If you check the length of for that column, how we have to check length by using length function. This one we can discuss in the column name is length of column name. Then from which table? STUD3. You observe, see, first row, even you declare the describe STUD. How many bytes we have declared, guys?
10 bytes.
10 bytes. But first row, how many bytes we inserted? 5 bytes. Remaining 5 bytes, remaining with respect to char. For example, if it is a char data type, what we will get in first row? If you declare 10 bytes, 10, every row it will come 10, 10, 10 only. But when you see here, first row is having 5 bytes. So remaining 5 bytes, it is not wasted the space. It does not apply to the blank space. It sent back to the database. See, 5 bytes only it has taken. 3 bytes you inserted. 3 bytes only it has taken. Remaining 7 bytes, it sent back to the database. Here 6 bytes only it has taken. 2 bytes only it will take. Clear? What is difference between char and varchar? It is more important question. How to tell? Char and varchar to both store the string data. Size is not mandatory for char with respect to char. With other hand, with respect to the varchar2, size is mandatory. So char by default it will take 1 byte. So maximum size is for char data type is 2000 bytes, but whereas varchar2 is maximum is 4000 bytes. These all things we have to explain. At last, we have to tell that client. So char is fixed length data type. So whenever you give the insert the data, for example, 5 bytes, remaining bytes it will take blank pads. Maximum size it will take for every column, every row. Whereas in varchar 2, it is a dynamic data type. It doesn't waste the storage. Clear, guys? There is one more you no need to know you no need to know about this. That is nchar data type. Nchar. Just 5 minutes, guys. It's going to complete. See, character data type. So like this. So whenever you see this bracket, it is a not mandatory. So it is a predefined length. It is a fixed length data type, 2000 bytes. So varchar 2, it is a 4000 bytes. It is a dynamic data type. So even one subtype is there, varchar, it will also convert it into the varchar 2 data type. So there is other database, other like we never use these things, but there is a functionality, nchar and nvarchar 2. Nchar means national set language. So if you want to, by default, how they have developed char and varchar 2, it will allow to you insert the English language data only. If you want to insert other than English data, other than English language, other than means other languages, along with the English, if you want to insert multiple languages, you have to use the nchar and varchar 2. Same char and nchar 2, same functionality. Varchar and varchar 2, same functionality. You no need to know about that. Just I am telling you, nchar and varchar 2 means if you want to insert multiple languages into the same column, Telugu, English, Urdu, Malayalam, anything, Tamil, you have to use the nchar and varchar 2. That's it, character data types, guys. We can discuss tomorrow number data type and date time data types. Tomorrow we can discuss number data type. These three, we use only these two. Real time, we never use limited data. Varchar 2, we declare around 2. Mostly we will take 255 like that. Size is 255. Because name, I don't think so. It's more than 20 bytes any name. If you take surname also, it will take total maybe 30 it will come maximum for any name. But we for safer side, we use varchar 2 for any name column, 255 bytes we will declare. Clear? Anyone is having any doubts? I am ready to take up now. These all are some other you can contact me, we can discuss. Those all are also use SQL only, but some other products, other databases we use SQL, MySQL, PostgreSQL like that. Those all also some other like this. So anyone is having any doubts, guys? I am ready to take up now. If you have any doubts, if you want to contact me in offline, this is my contact number. Contact number is, anyone is joined newly today, guys, please raise your hands. Either WhatsApp or either I will take one by one. You can raise your hands. This is my WhatsApp or call number. You can call me at any time. And one more thing, yesterday and day before yesterday sessions, I have uploaded in my YouTube channel because those are free. So first sessions I will give free sessions. The channel name is YouTube channel name is Venky Tech Solutions. You can go the channel and you can check the latest. You can check the latest. You can check the latest which I have uploaded. June batch it will be there. June batch it will be there. It is the channel. If you like my content, please subscribe the channel. If you like my content, if you like, then only you can subscribe, guys. Here, if you go to the playlist, you can here see. April batch, June batch, advanced training. So this is the June batch. The last 2 sessions is uploaded in this playlist. Okay, you can go. You can go the June batch folder and playlist. You can go to the yesterday and day before yesterday session. Those are just introduction. Even you can go and check the previous batches. Like there are April batch also is there. That is also you can go and check it. So now I will see who has raised their hands. So Money, tell me Money, what is you are having doubts? So you
no, bro.
okay, you can contact me if you have any doubts. Who has joined other? Only
3000 చిల్లర ఒకటి కొట్టాను.